Sweet, sweet music means one thing, that we are getting close to live action time here in Topeka. We are live for the Cafe Natatorium in beautiful Topeka, Kansas, the site of this year's 6A Swimming and Diving Championships. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Topeka. About 8:45 on my sundial, which gives us about 15-20 minutes before we get started in earnest. We have a couple other special presentations, some Hall of Fame inductions that'll take place this morning. Our first event after those ceremonies will be the dive competition, where we have 16 divers that'll all participate. They'll have 3 dives apiece, and then we will start the swimming portion of the championship Saturday with the 200-yard medley. We'll have 16 divers here in Class A, each with 3 dives. Coach, if I remember correctly, 2 of those are required or mandatory and 1 is optional. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Oops, sorry. Go ahead there, Coach.
It's called a voluntary dive, and we used to call it a required dive. So they'll have 1 of those, and then they'll have 2 optional dives. So the first dive will be they can do them in any order, but there'll be a lower DD, degree of difficulty for them. And then the optional dives have the higher DD. And we have 7 judges. They will toss out the 2 highest, 2 lowest, and use the 3 in between. Add those together and multiply it by the degree of difficulty. That gives you a score.
And the divers are being introduced. They are on the bulkhead, all 16 of these qualified divers. And as you look up and down the qualifying marks out of their preliminaries, Coach, there's not a lot of difference in how these divers score, which tells me that we're going to have a pretty tight competition here, and it is wide open. Now, sometimes we see that maybe the top 2 or 3 have the higher scores, and then there's a little bit of a drop-off, thinking of you, Braxton Higgins. But in this case, for the girls' dive, it's pretty darn tight.
Well, we have one young lady that looks like to be a dominant leader, but
and only a junior.
You never can tell what's going to happen here if somebody misses a takeoff. Unlike swimming, where if you're in the B final, you can't move up and place in the A final. In diving, you're real fluid here. You can move. You could be in 8th place now and theoretically win the whole thing.
Right. Now we're on to the last diver in this first dive round. First of 3, Meaghan Driever out of Shawnee Mission North. The senior Bison, 1.4 DD on her inward dive tuck. Nice dive.
And here it looks really good.
7,
yeah.
7 1/2, 7.
That's going to push her up the board.
What we saw was the same as what the judges saw. Yeah?
Meaghan Driever.
And there's a big range in these scores from 5.5 to 7 on that one, just because different judges think certain things are more important, and because they see different things. Even though they're sitting next to each other, the one that's on the far end is seeing something different than the person that's on the other end of it.
Meaghan Driever. Final dive, 2023 State Diving Championships. Meaghan Driever.
Whoa, 2.5 twists.
Should get around so quickly.
Yeah.
But she's like one of those pirouette ice skaters. You know how they can go around like 7,000 RPMs. And that is going to do it for the diving competition in Class 6A. Gabby, the junior out of Olathe West, finishes in 13th. Mia Masterson, the senior out of Blue Valley West, finishes in 12th. Rhiannon, good. Washroll freshman, another freshman, she finishes in the 11th spot. Your top 10 finishers: Paige Schmitteskamp, Olathe East senior. How about Jade Standen finishing in 9th place, the Olathe Northwest Raven sophomore. Rose Lawler out of Blue Valley West finishes in 8th. Emily Brandt out of Lawrence High, she's a junior, finishes in 7th. Gabby Sander, the senior out of Blue Valley Northwest, in 6th. Your top 5 finishers: Riley Scott out of Shawnee Mission East, she's a junior. Meaghan Driever, Shawnee Mission North senior, finishes in 4th. Your top 3: Addie Hurley, Olathe Northwest High School junior. The runner-up in the girls 1 meter dive for 2023, Brianna Devlin out of Topeka High. And your 2023 6A girls diving champion, Claire Geraltz, the junior from Blue Valley Northwest, has her way with the rest of the field, scoring 434 cumulative points and 20 juicy points for her team, on her way to accepting that gold medal, which she's doing right now, and taking that spot back on top of the award stand again. Claire Geraltz is your champion. Congratulations to all the divers for an excellent competition. Our next event, the continuation of the girls 200-yard medley relay. So you see the...
Well, everybody's got to get pictures here.
Pictures and flashing the signs. Hopefully they're not gang signs. No, I just kid, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of talent right there on the award stands. And we're going to see quite a few of those athletes back here again next year. I guess it'll be in Lenexa, but...